Hey, what's going on, comic book community? Lumbox Love Affair here. I have a short box of comic books that I bought at a local comic shop tent sale. Third Eye Comics had their 10th anniversary tent sale just over a week ago, and I'd never been and wanted to check it out. So I got there maybe 15 minutes before it opened, around 11 o'clock it opened. And there was already a line. The tent is in the parking lot behind the store. It's their superstore, their flagship. It's a great space. So I'm going to show you some video footage of what it looks like going into the tent and the throngs of people that were there an hour after it had opened. So I had done my purchases and I realized I didn't take any footage, so I went back in. So that's why there's no line in this footage, but everybody is inside hunting. So there were boxes of comics, all $1. Then they had a box of, several boxes of variant comics, as well as trades. And then in another tent, they had statues and other things. And grab bags and things like that. So I bought all of these comics, and if you fill a box, it was $50. So I bought all these comics for $50. So let me show you what it looked like inside the madness, and then I'm going to walk you through all the amazing purchases I picked up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good. Still digging.
As you saw, wall-to-wall people, wall-to-wall people, and you had to fight to get in the boxes. People were respectful, of course. It was a good crowd, but it was a lot of trying to finagle and bounce around people. If you were done with one box, you'd try to jump around the other person. But I was able to pick this up. This is not full right now because I have other books right here. You got Killmonger watching you out of the corner of this whole video. But I'm going to show you some of the crazy things, and I'm going to go through every book. But I found Terrifics #1. This book is hot right now, super, super hot. People are looking for this book. And it's got all the James Gunn spec for the DC cinematic universe. So I picked up Terrifics #1. They also had a run of Spectre. So I picked up Spectre 22, the first Alex Ross artwork. It is curved because of how it was stored. So that's unfortunate. I'd have to flatten this out a bit. But I also picked up number 54, first appearance of Mr. Terrific. Really cool to find this. It wasn't in sequential order, and I was looking through the box, and I was like, maybe. And no one had gotten to that box yet, I guess. Or people had, and they passed, and they didn't know what they were looking for. The store also had these keys. So obviously they missed these, but they put in key issues this little skeleton key that you found a key there. I picked them up when I saw them for $1. And FF1, Future Foundation #1, great book. I actually love this series, so I was happy to pick that up with or without that key sticker. One that didn't have the key sticker is Infinity Inc. #16. Early Todd McFarlane. I think this is the first Mr. Bones. This book fetches a little bit of money, so this was on the box. I found this an hour into hunting. Someone had just finished looking through this box, and I snagged it. Same thing with this. Long Shot #3, first appearance of Mojo, in really decent condition. It's not shredded, it's not near mint, but it's not crazy. I also found Supergirl #1. What was it? Woman of Tomorrow. This I found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 copies. I paid less than $1 for these because the whole box was $50. 7 copies of this book. Great spec book for the James Gunn run. Ghost Spider #7. Picked up 4 copies of this issue. It was hot at one point. And then Ghost Spider #1, I picked up 2. This is the second series, I think. So they had a whole bunch of them. FF, I don't know the number, but it's the issue that Johnny Storm dies. Gunslinger #1, 2 copies. There's a whole bunch of Spawn there. X-Factor 61, Extinction Agenda, and 62. This is one of my favorite Jim Lee covers, the end of that Extinction Agenda storyline. Flash 140, 139, 138. That's the Black Flash storyline. And I love this cover, 141. 141. Ultimate Comics Spider-Man #1, the La Fuente series. One Punch Man, the new comic book day version. This goes for a little bit of money. Bought it for about 50 cents. Flash 108, the first appearance of Savitar, which was a villain in the TV show. Wool. This is the adaptation of the first book in the Silo series that is now on Amazon, or not Amazon, that's Apple TV. If you haven't given that a watch, it's a very good watch, in my opinion. The Further Adventures of Indiana Jones, #1, another one that fetches a little bit of money. Spider-Man and the X-Men, #1. Amazing Spider-Man Annual 42. 2 copies of Wonder Woman 700, the J. Scott and the Adam Hughes. Probably use some of these for a future Whatnot sale that I want to have. Green Lantern, the Liam Sharp. This is the variant cover to the first issue. Need to get these rebagged. A busted copy of Amazing Spider-Man 360 in a newsstand. This is one of the early appearances of Carnage before his full appearance, and that is right there. Annihilators #1, really beat. I didn't realize that when I bought it. This one I did realize it was beat. Sensational Spider-Man #1, the non-lenticular. So I don't know if that has any rarity. Probably not, but it is so beat that, hey. Void Rivals #1. I never picked this up, so for less than $1. Squirrel Girl, this is probably her second series, the first issue. Amazing Spider-Man, I got 2 copies of the Ryan Ottley run. Marvel Tales 216, Mike Zack Punisher, and this is a newsie. A Joker cover on Action Comics 714. Hercules 1 and 4. I have the other ones in here, but they are already bagged, so I pulled the non-bagged ones out. Generation X #1, Chromium cover all around, and Amazing Spider-Man 26. So they had some real recent books, Death of Kamala Khan. So that was surprising to see so much recent. Magnus Robot Fighter #6. So this issue is the flip book to these. So I picked up 3 copies. These do not have the coupons. This does. So that was a bummer to see that wasn't all couponized. And then I picked up 4 copies of issue #8 of Magnus. All 4 had the coupon. So this issue has a flip book, which is actually, this is a much better cover. So check those out. I was a big fan of those in the 90s. True Believers, too bad it's not the original one, but True Believers, Miles Morales, Spider-Man #1. Alpha Flight 32, they said this is a key. I think they use that term too loosely. I'm not even sure what this is a key of, so that's interesting, but I picked it up. X-Force #1, why not? Fully bagged, Sunspot and Gideon card. We got a bunch of Spawns. A lot of them are McFarlane covers, 314. Not all, but some, 315. Cygor, 318. I love the silhouette in this cover. 314. So cool. Bjorn Brands, 319, right? Yes. 316. Again, these are not in any particular order. 317. Another variant cover to 317. And 318. Timely Comics of the Doctor Strange Chris Bacalo run. Superior Spider-Man #1, the J. Scott Campbell variant. I've seen this for a little bit of money, so surprising to see this. 31. Did I say #1? Another J. Scott Campbell for the same issue. That is the Midtown Comics variant cover. I think you can buy that still on Midtown, but not for 50 cents. For nostalgia's sake, we got Ultimate Spider-Man number 3. Number 5, this used to be the hard one to find. It used to be a $45 comic book back in the day. They have since dropped. Issue number 2, both covers. There was a variant to that. That was that. Number 8, got Green Goblin, number 7. One of my particular favorites is 13, when Mary Jane realizes that Peter is Spidey. The Venom storyline, I got a bunch of them, not the first one. So that's 38, this is 36, 34. And it was funny, I went at the tent, I took a break and went into the store itself, and they had a couple of these on the wall for $15 or so. So they had these in the bins for just the same condition as the ones that were on the wall. 2 copies of Nova 100, the Sal Buscema variant. Got a couple copies of the What If Miles Morales Ramos variant. Baby Teeth number 1. And I have a variant in here too, but this is 2 issues of issue number 1. They said this was a key, Doctor Strange 67. I don't know what kind of key it is. I didn't even research it because I don't think it is. Same thing with this. Batman Turtles number 1. This is the 2nd series. They said it's a key. Cool cover. Darker Image number 1 with the Blood Wolf card. Marvel Superheroes Spring Special 1991. Here's that Baby Teeth one, the variant cover. Secret Origins 46, they said this is a key. I can't remember what is significant about this issue, but there is something I think in Key Collector. Alpha Flight 12, I was surprised that this has also got the key card in it. Again, I think they used it loosely. New Avengers 18, same thing. What am I missing? And Alpha Flight 22, the first appearance of Pink Pearl. Kind of love this storyline. Ultimate End 4 and 5, the very end of the Ultimate Universe. Those are probably some of the last issues ever made at the end of Secret Wars, when Marvel did that to kind of get rid of the Ultimate folks. Ultimate Comics number 1, Art Adams cover. Wolverine on that cover there. I'm gonna see him in Baltimore Comic-Con. Art Adams, not Wolverine. Rawhide Kid number 1. Got Ultimate Comics X-Men number 1. It was originally polybagged. Came out around the same time as Miles Morales' first issue. Batman Superman, and this is the foreign Superman first appearance. I think it's China. Infinity Countdown 4. This was one of the significant issues of that run. Champions 2 or 20. Woo. Am I dyslexic? Champions 18. I was surprised to find this. This whole run, Dr. Manhattan, this is before Watchmen, Adam Hughes artwork. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Cover price of $6 or $16, $6. Or not cover price, they have sticker price. These could be fun to get signed by Adam Hughes, who also will be at Baltimore Comic-Con. Just because I love this run, this issue 60 through 70, or 60 through 69 of X Factor. It's one of my favorite runs of a storyline. So I picked up a couple of those. They had a whole bunch. And a couple of these. Whilce Portacio artwork, right in his heyday, before Wetworks, before he disappeared and has come back on the scene now, sort of. Superman 32, Rebirth. This is the new solar flare power of Superman. Does he still have it? I don't know. The New Guardians #2, Snowflame, I think, is the cocaine-powered superhero there. Here's the other Hercules issues from that limited run. I have the full set. Someone said when I picked up issue #1 a while back from like a garage sale that I should have picked up all of them for so cheap, and I'm thinking they were right, and I just am glad I had a second chance. Cool cover. This is another Art Adams. It's New X-Men Battle of the Atom #17. They say it's a key. I think it's just because of these new versions of X-Men. Really cool cover though. I'm a big fan of Adams. Couple copies of Department of Truth #1, the variant cover. Not sure what printing that is. Couple of the Legends of the Dark Knight #18. Not a couple of that issue, but of the Venom storyline, which was the lead-in to the Venom that fuels Bane. So these were hot back in the early 90s. This is only 3 of the 5 or so issues in that storyline. Picked up Superman Man of Steel #1. Like a photo cover. This was the issue, Sleepwalker #3. It holds a special place in my heart because it was one of my first introductions to a lot of the MCU. I read Sleepwalker before I read Spider-Man, and so that got me into Spider-Man, and it was a gateway drug, and I picked up Sleepwalker #2. I started reading Sleepwalker with this issue, so issue #1 and 2 as a kid were so unattainable, let alone anything else. Limited allowance of $5 a week. Was happy to find these. So Doctor Strange and the Sorcerer's Supreme. This is #8. I picked up 1 through 5 not too long ago, and I realized that the storyline continues. This is 7, and I never picked them up. So I never could find them. So excited to start reading these again and finish the rest of the storyline. Almost done. So I picked up 2 copies of Future State with the red X on the cover, the Nguyen cover. This is the variant, and then there's this one too. So they're a little different. I thought this was a second print. It doesn't look like it. I could be wrong. A variant of a variant. All right, last is a whole bunch of New 52 Batmans that I picked up. So picked up 28. Some of these have first appearances. 34. 36, awesome Capullo cover. Big fan of that. 40. 12, Court of Owls going on in there. #0. 14. 15. Death in the Family. 16. 17. 18, another cool cover, 35 with Justice League, 19, 20, 23, 22, 24, 26, and another favorite is 27. So that is my tent sale haul. If you've gotten through this video, thank you for bearing with me and getting through all these piles of comic books. They all fit into a short box. These are the books I picked up, and I probably could have picked up more. I just I didn't see anything that was really worth my time beyond these. I was glad I picked these up. There's a lot of great stuff. I'm sure other people, hey, if you were there and you picked up some keys, let me know. I think I found some really interesting keys. I found some great books for the collection. I found some books that I'll probably sell. So yeah, that's what's going on here. So I did film this video and didn't like how it turned out. So a week later, I am refilming it. This is it. So hope you've enjoyed. Stay tuned for more comic content. Hit that subscribe button. Let's bounce our subscribers up to 7K, and I will see you at the next video. Thanks. Bye-bye.